spoken words from people that will speak to your spirit to try to tell you try to put a seed in your soul, in your spirit, to make you doubt God. You know how somebody tell you, girl, that's too hard right there. Can't nobody do that. That's just too much. You know about a situation. God ain't going to be able to do that. That right there, that's just too much. That's just too hard right there. You expecting God to do what? That don't even make sense. And see, when we listen to people try to tell us negative about what we believe in God to do, what we're allowing them to do is to plant a seed in our spiritual garden. And see, that's the power of suggestion. I got here, the definition of suggestion is a hint, to offer for consideration or action, to say indirectly. So indirectly, when your friend told you, girl, God ain't gonna get you that car, that was the devil telling you to doubt that to make you doubt that God ain't gonna get the car. It's the call to your mind to provide a motive. So in other words, the enemy is trying to plant seeds, no matter it's through the radio, the television, family members, friends, co-workers, church members. He don't care who he uses. He'll even let you see it in the dream. What God told you he gonna do. You'll see something in the dream that's contradicting to what God said. See, that's the power of suggestion, because what the enemy is saying, I want you to agree with me. The Bible says, how can two walk together unless they're in agreement? So when we wake up and we have a bad dream about the situation and we don't cancel it, what we do is come into agreement with the enemy for that thing to manifest. When somebody says something about what we believe in God for, and then you don't speak up and you don't say anything. See, this thing is so potent that you can hear somebody even conversating. That, you know what, I can't stand Sister Yellow Wall. I'm talking to somebody else. You just over here on the side listening. I can't stand Sister Yellow Wall. Every time I see her, she make me sick. She get on my nerves. By you listening, you have now been receiving words through the power of suggestion to hate Miss Yellow Wall. Just by you listening. And you weren't even in the conversation. How many times have you heard people talking about things, discussing things, and you weren't even in the conversation, but you heard it? See, that was a deposit that the enemy was planting in your spirit, man. Because see, you got to understand that the enemy needs something. He can't come in unless he got a right. And see, when we allow these suggestions to be made in our spirit, when we allow these suggestions to be made in our mind, that even when we say stuff in our mind, I don't even know how he going to do it. They don't even make sense to me. I feel like I'm going to just quit. What you did now was just planted a doubt in your spirit, man, on God doing what you believe him to do. And so now, what the enemy is saying, okay, now they don't just spoke it out their mouth. Now I got something to work with. Because see, you got to understand, your subconscious mind, say your subconscious mind. It does not take a break. What happened about when somebody playing a song that you don't like?
Well, you know what you're singing.
You singing that song. Why? Because your subconscious mind have recorded the song even though you say you don't like it. What happens when you sit up and when you grow up and your mom smoke a cigarette and then she tell you don't smoke because smoking is bad for you. When you grow up, if you don't pay attention, what you'll be doing? Smoking a cigarette. Why? Through the power of suggestion, because subconsciously your mind recorded that thing. So what am I telling you? That we can be operating and helping the enemy to destroy us through sabotage. Because subconsciously, we said we weren't going to do this. Subconsciously, we said we weren't going to lie no more. It ain't paying attention and you don't start back lying. Why? Subconsciously, because you weren't paying attention. Because see, in order for the enemy to do it, that means you got to give him something to work with. And see, and when we don't catch, I had to catch myself even when I was praying. As I was praying, and all of a sudden I got in a quiet place, I heard a thought in my spirit was telling me something negative from what I would normally say if I paid any attention. And I said, oh devil, you a liar. Y'all ain't never did that. You've been praying and you got quiet, and then all of a sudden you say something backwards that don't make sense. Where it's like you cursing your own self. Don't you know that was a plot of the enemy?
Wow.
To get you to say something where you can sabotage your own self. And see how we hurt our own selves through the power of suggestion subconsciously. Because see, the enemy needs for you to be doing something where you say, you know what, I think I'm all right. You ain't even paying no attention. You just believing, you just telling yourself, I'm all right, not paying attention to your actions. Don't even realize you in danger. Because see, what do you hear people say that's alcoholics or drunkards? What they say? I'm all right. I got this up under control. That's what my family members tell me. I got this up under control. But time trouble happen. They go back to that same thing that they said they had up under control. Next thing you know, that thing got them up under control.
Right.
Through the power of suggestion. And see, he showed me that even here, that I got here, you got to understand that your subconscious mind, it stores what you don't want to deal with. So in other words, you know them bill collectors call you, and you know how we ignore the phone call, ignore the phone ring. I know who it is. Don't you know your subconscious mind is recording that? Your subconscious mind, when people have said things to you, when they don't say ugly words to you, and if you do not go into prayer to deal with what that person said, to ask the Lord to uproot that out your heart and for God to heal you in that area, don't you know subconsciously what they said, you have come into agreement with what they said through the power of suggestion? Because see, I got here, because the subconscious mind, it collects data and it never releases it. That's just like you go